Hello, Provincial Technical Committee members for Skills Canada Alberta. I would like to review with you today how to update your online infrastructure list on your committee portal. So each competition area has their own unique committee portal and infrastructure list that allows you to kind of keep track of all your tools, equipment, materials, and logistical components that you need to successfully host your competition. So this infrastructure list allows you to plan appropriately and efficiently to capture items like power requests, tool requests, machinery requests, consumables, anything you need to successfully host your competition. So let's get started. So first off, you'll want to go to skillsalberta.com, and in the upper right-hand corner, you'll want to hit login. Once you click login, it's going to ask you for your username and password for your committee portal. If you don't know your username and password for your committee portal, by all means connect with Skills Alberta and we'll be able to get that for you. So once you enter your username and password, click login. And depending on your internet speed, you might have to wait a little bit between screens. And now it's going to ask you for kind of one more confirmation, and that's going to be your email address that's linked to your committee portal. And then hit validate. And there you have it. So now you are into your committee portal. So as you've seen in the other screen, I'm kind of logging in as a cabinet making committee member. So on your committee portal here, you'll see some important dates on the left-hand side that gets changed kind of continuously throughout the year. And in the upper right-hand side, you're going to see some tiles up there: members, documents for your competition area, specific documents, and infrastructure lists. So today we're going to review infrastructure lists. So you're going to notice when you toggle on the infrastructure lists tab, you're going to have two drop-downs in particular for cabinet making. The first one that's indicated as Provincial Skills Canada Competition IL. That's your secondary level of competition infrastructure list. And then the PS, Provincial Skills Canada Competition IL, is your post-secondary. So we have them separated this year mainly because of the competitions going virtual. There's going to be separate logistical needs for the secondary category compared to the post-secondary category when we start receiving and shipping out tools, equipment, and materials. So I'm going to just click into the secondary level of the infrastructure list. Now it's going to take you to your main infrastructure list page. So this page is live, and it kind of emulates a bit of an online shopping experience, so to speak. So at the top, you'll notice you have a tab for order form, competition, try a trade, transportation needs, MSDS as it links to your safety, and suppliers list. And then your categories on the side. So this is going to be your main screen you're going to be using. So on the left-hand side, you'll notice underneath category that there's about 6 categories that have been split up to indicate the different areas that you may request tools, equipment, and materials for. First off, you'll have utilities, then venue equipment, competition equipment, tools, materials, and safety supplies. And underneath the requirement area for each of those categories, you'll see a drop-down that has been pre-populated with items that you've historically or that have been historically ordered for your competition in the past. So this is again the cabinet making one, so there is a healthy list of what's been ordered in the past. So I am just going to hit countersinks number 6 because we need those this year for the secondary students. Again, I'm in the secondary infrastructure list. Quantity, going to need 22 of those. That part number is fine. That'll generate a part number that's been in there historically. And is it intended for competitors, PTC members, try a trade or other? Well, in this case, it's going to be for competitors. And the purpose is going to be for pre-drilling. And again, you could leave that blank if you want as well, but again, that's just another kind of information piece that might help on your planning side. And the responsibility, so that means kind of who is responsible to obtain those items. Is it a committee? Is it a supplier through Skills Alberta? Is it just Skills Alberta in general, not knowing if we have a supplier or not, or anyone else? So we're thinking it's probably, for this one, it's going to be Skills Alberta, and then they'll figure out what supplier to use. And then there's two squares here, requires transport and requires MSDS. So for these particular items, it doesn't require transport for this category. So I'm just going to hit add, and you'll notice requirement added. So you'll notice on the top as well that competition now has one. So you're going to click into competition, and in this area is where it's going to keep track of all the items that you've had on your order form. So I'm going to just click back into the order form. As soon as you order something on this page, it's going to get entered into the competition tab. All right, so I'm just going to do another item here. I'm going to enter cabinet making material, so project material. I notice in here it's not in here. So I'm going to hit other, because this is something new that we require for this year. And you'll see underneath there's going to be an additional text box drop down. So I'm going to put project material in here. Okay, and that's going to be, again, I'm doing the secondary infrastructure list. So project material for the competitors. I need 22 of those because there's 22 competitors. Don't really know the part number because it's intended for the competitors. Purpose for the secondary competition. I can spell right. And then actually its responsibility isn't SCA this time, it's the committee that's going to be doing this for us. For this competition area. So I'm going to hit committee. And again, let's just catch it up here. And then it's going to link to all of the committee members for your competition. That's on the PTC. So it's actually going to be Mike Surrey that's going to be prepping the material. That would be scary. And then it does require transport. So I'm prepping the material from my shop, but I need Skills to come pick it up from me. So I'm doing it, requires transport. Add. So now you'll notice up on the top here, kind of in this general list, that competition, the overall listing's been updated again. We already had number 6 countersinks in there from the previous entry. Now we have project material, intended for competitors, for the secondary competition. Mike's looking after it. And you'll also then notice transportation. So you'll click into the transportation area, and now this is where you enter where Skills Alberta needs to pick up those items. Special requirements, probably need a power tailgate for the pickup. Okay, so now once that's updated, then Skills Alberta will be able to run a report and see what needs to be picked up for the competition. Now that we've reviewed transportation or shipping needs for your competition area, now let's look at MSDS. So as you enter product and consumable items that may be hazardous and there's some safety concern with them, that we should have an MSDS sheet for those products, then you can add that to this system as well. So as you're ordering product, I'm going to go to materials again. And I know for this year, we're going to need Varathane for the competition. And it's not in the drop down here because we haven't requested it before. So I'm just going to hit other. I'm just then going to order or enter varnish. 22 of those. Part number, I know it's 1287. It's for the competitors. Purpose, it's just for finish. SCA is going to be looking after that for us. But now it requires MSDS. You're going to click Requires MSDS. And then it's going to take you to, it's then going to pre-populate, up here, the MSDS list. So you're going to click into here. Now we have the varnish listed along with wood glue from before. So common name, urethane. So you just want to update what you know here. And then you can hit update. And then now that is listed in your MSDS area. So what happens now is Skills Alberta will run a report on what MSDS sheets are required for your competition area. They'll be printed off for you and then included in your safety binder. All right, now that we've updated the MSDS portion of the infrastructure list, now I'm just going to show you the supplier tab. So I just clicked on the supplier list here. And what this area does for you, and for Skills Alberta as well, is it keeps track of all the suppliers that, that you and your committee may be using that may fall outside of what Skills Alberta uses for suppliers. Committees do a fantastic job of networking within their networks out there with industry, and gets a lot of product and materials and consumables that we need for our competitions. So what we ask then is if there are companies out there that you're dealing with or committees are dealing with directly, we just ask to have those names kind of entered here, some of that information entered here, just so Skills Alberta knows what companies that we need to kind of highlight and showcase on the Skills Alberta side for their gracious donations. Now the value, this again, just kind of what a good idea of what that product may be worth. And I'm going to put here $5,000. In kind or a consumable. In kind is when equipment is getting kind of borrowed to us, to Skills Alberta, and then returned. And then consumables, of course, then is what's getting consumed 100%. So this is a consumable item, and then just click add. So then Skills Alberta knows kind of how to position that partner for deliverables for the competition. I want to review with you as well is any edits that you may need to do to your infrastructure list. So once you enter items on your infrastructure list and you realize that you may need to make changes to them, do any deletions or additions or whatnot, you can do that by going to, again, the competition button. You kind of realize that, you know, for wood glue, for example, that you don't need 22 of them anymore, then, and you only need 18, you can do those edits in here. So I just changed that from 18 to 22, and then update, and now it's changed to a quantity of 18. Now, if you realize, or if you decide that you don't need that wood glue anymore, period, then you just click the X, and now it's gone. All right, so again, you can do all those updates in that competition tab or button at the top. And now I just want to review with you one last step here that may come in handy for your competition area, and that's compile and download all the information that you have entered. So if you wanted to, you can export all the information on your infrastructure list onto an Excel spreadsheet. If you need to send any lists to any of your committee members or any suppliers that you may be dealing with on your end, you can do that as well. So in the kind of right-hand corner here, you just want to click the printer icon. Then you're going to see a download option. So you're just going to hit download. Bottom left-hand corner, you'll see the infrastructure list. And then here you'll notice everything that you've entered on your infrastructure list is now nicely laid out on an Excel spreadsheet. So you can download and save that to your computer, and then use that for any other planning you may need with other folks outside of your provincial technical committee. all in all, that is how to update your infrastructure list. So, kind of in closing, this infrastructure list really should have all information required for your competition area. So, right from anything you need infrastructure wise, from screws to project material to paper to software, whatever's needed for your competition area needs to be on these infrastructure lists. So it just kind of keeps everyone organized on what's required for each competition area, and kind of helps on a seamless execution of a competition. So at any time, if you require any assistance, by all means, Skills Alberta is here to help you out. All right, have a great day.